Okay. So in our last lecture, whether PPTs are visible? I think it is visible. Okay. So in our last lecture, we have seen general introduction related to this semester. That means which subjects are there for this semester. And after that, we have seen the syllabus related to refrigeration and air conditioning subject. So we have seen the syllabus for theory as well as practical. So in practical, we are knowing that for this subject, we are having the external practical oral, and here total number of experiment which we need to perform or which we need to study, those are nothing but 8. Out of that, the group 1 is consisting of study type of experiment. So total 5 type of experiment they have mentioned, and out of that 5 type of experiment, any 4 assignment or any 4 study type of experiment we have to study. In group 2, out of 5 experiments, group 2 is related to the performance type of experiment. So we have to perform any 3 experiment. We have to perform any 3 experiment out of 5. So they have mentioned the list of 5 experiment, and out of that 5 experiment, we have to perform any 3 experiment. And whatever group 3 is there, so out of 2, we have to perform any one, either industrial visit, or we have to do the evaluation, performance evaluation of any of the trial by using either MATLAB or by using C programming. So this was related to the practical syllabus. Now here, if you see the textbook as well as reference book which university has referred, so among the textbook, so first textbook given by university is nothing but refrigeration and air conditioning by R.S. Khurmi and J.K. Gupta. Then second textbook is related to refrigeration and air conditioning by C.P. Arora. Third one is refrigeration and air conditioning by Arora and Dumkundwar. And last one is refrigeration and air conditioning by S.N. Supply. So out of this 4 textbook, first, second, and third one is best one. That is refrigeration and air conditioning by CP Aurora, and second next one is refrigeration and air conditioning by Aurora and Dumkundwar. So both the textbooks are best one. Then, as far as reference book is concerned, related to this refrigeration and air conditioning subject. So first reference book that you have to refer, that is nothing but Principle of Refrigeration. So author name is Roy J. Dosat. Then second reference book is nothing but Air Conditioning Applications and Design by W.P. Jones. Then next one is Refrigeration and Air Conditioning by Stoker. And last one is nothing but Refrigeration and Air Conditioning by Manohar Prasad. So out of these 4 reference book, so whatever refrigeration and air conditioning by Stoker, that is one of the best book which you can refer related to this refrigeration and air conditioning. So this is related to the textbook and reference book which you need to refer while doing the study of refrigeration and air conditioning subject. Now we are switching towards our main point, that is nothing but syllabus. So first about title of the subject. So as we are knowing, the title of subject is nothing but refrigeration and air conditioning. So whatever our first section is there of our subject, that first section is completely dealing with the first word called as a refrigeration, and whatever second section is there, that second section is completely dealing with the another word called as a air conditioning. Out of that, first word is nothing but refrigeration. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of, or what is the general idea related to the refrigeration? When we are going to say that we are doing the refrigeration at everyone's home, you may have the refrigerator. So whatever that application refrigerator is there, that is the outcome of refrigeration or concept of refrigeration. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of refrigeration? You can unmute yourself and you can give the answer. What do you think? What will be what is the meaning of refrigeration? Anyone can unmute and can give the answer. Do it fast. What is the meaning of refrigeration? काहीतरी सांगा. तुम्हाला जे वाटतं ते सांगा. What do you think? What is the meaning of refrigeration? This is not the new concept to you people, because at everyone's home there will be the refrigerator, and in that refrigerator you might be preserving the foods, or for different purposes you might be using that refrigerator. So what is the concept of refrigeration? Can anyone tell me? Gajakosh, can you tell me the meaning of refrigeration?
Yes, sir. According to me, sir, refrigeration is a process in which heat is removed from a certain system to make it colder, I guess.
It is being removed from a certain system to make it
Colder or less temperature system.
colder or less temperature. Okay. Any another answer? Jagdali?
Cooling some system.
Cooling of the system. Okay. Display. If display is present, can I display? Nikhil Munde. Thomas. Are you attending the lecture? Please unmute and can you give the answer? What is the meaning of refrigeration? I'm not expecting the correct answer from everyone. Whatever your view is there related to that word, you have to tell. That may be correct, that may be wrong. Prithviraj Deshmukh. Okay. Some students have told us that refrigeration is nothing but process in which heat is being absorbed to cool that substance. So is there will be any difference between the word refrigeration and cooling? Will there any difference between word refrigeration and cooling? Okay. You can take one example. Suppose I am having one rod, iron rod. Suppose this is the iron rod, and I have heated this iron rod. I have heated this iron rod with the help of burner, suppose, and after heating, the temperature of this iron rod is suppose 80 degrees centigrade. After heating, the temperature of that iron rod is 80 degrees centigrade. Now, whatever this 80 degrees centigrade iron rod is there, whatever this 80 degrees centigrade iron rod is there, I have kept this iron rod open to the atmosphere. Suppose atmospheric temperature is suppose 30 degrees centigrade. Atmospheric temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. Now here, what will happen? So I have kept this 80 degrees centigrade iron rod to the open atmosphere. So whether this will be the heating refrigeration process, or whether this will be the cooling process. What will be the name for this process? Whatever 80 degrees centigrade heated iron rod is there, I have kept open to the atmosphere. So here there will be the heat transfer. Automatically there will be the heat transfer from iron rod to the atmosphere. Or here we are removing the heat from iron rod to the atmosphere. So Will it be the refrigeration process or will it be the cooling process? Can anyone tell me the answer? Which will be this process? Cooling
Sir, this
process or refrigeration process?
cooling.
Cooling. Why
Yes.
cooling?
So
When
cooling
it,
is a natural process and refrigeration is a intentional cooling, we can say.
okay, cooling is the natural process and refrigeration is the intentional cooling. So when it will be the refrigeration process? Same example.
Sir, if we cooled it rod by some external means if we use any refrigeration or we can say any wind or other process to cool it.
Okay. Any another answer?
Hello, sir.
Huh.
Sir, in cooling, the temperature could be greater than, sorry, should not be or should be greater than the surrounding temperature. But in the refrigeration, the temperature must be lesser than the ambient temperature.
Okay. So that is the exact difference between refrigeration and cooling. In both the processes, that means in refrigeration as well as in cooling processes, heat will be carried out or heat will be transferred from one medium to another medium. But when we are going to say that process as a refrigeration process and when we are going to say that process as a cooling process, so cooling is the natural process, and in cooling, the temperature of that substance can be lowered maximum up to the surrounding temperature. Cooling is the natural process, and the temperature of that system can be lowered maximum up to the surrounding temperature. But in refrigeration, that is intentionally made a process. Here, for doing that refrigeration process, we need to provide the external work. And in case of refrigeration, we are continuously extracting the heat and we are maintaining the temperature of that body below the surrounding temperature. That means if surrounding temperature is 30 degrees centigrade, if surrounding temperature is the 30 degrees centigrade, then if we are providing system such that that temperature of hot rod will become lower than 30 degrees centigrade. That means from 80 degrees centigrade, if the temperature of that rod will become as a 20 degrees centigrade, 25 degrees centigrade, that means lower than surrounding temperature, then that process will be called as a refrigeration process. So in both the cases, in cooling as well as in refrigeration, in both the cases, heat will be removed. But up to which limit we are removing the heat, depending upon that, that cooling, whether that process will be cooling process or refrigeration process, that will be identified. So always keep in mind that cooling is the natural process in which we can reduce the temperature maximum up to the surrounding temperature. But refrigeration is the intentionally made up process in which we have to reduce as well as maintain the temperature, in which we have to reduce as well as maintain the temperature below the surrounding temperature or below the ambient temperature. So here, first word is the refrigeration word. First word is the refrigeration word. So process of reducing as well as maintaining the temperature. Here two words are very much important. First word is nothing but reducing as well as maintaining. So reducing as well as maintaining temperature below its surrounding temperature or below its ambient temperature. Below its ambient or below its surrounding temperature, that will be called as a refrigeration process. Now, here, if I want to reduce as well as maintain the temperature, here, if I want to reduce as well as maintain the temperature below surrounding temperature, if I will take the same example, 80 degrees centigrade rod, heated rod, and surrounding temperature is 30 degrees centigrade. So here, if I want to reduce as well as maintain the temperature of that 80 degrees centigrade heated rod below 30 degrees centigrade, then what I need to do? I need to continuously extract the heat. I need to continuously extract the heat from that 80 degrees centigrade rod. And by doing that, by doing the continuous extraction of heat from that 80 degrees centigrade rod, it will be possible to maintain the temperature of that heated rod below 30 degrees centigrade. And here, the same process will be called as a refrigeration process. So refrigeration is nothing but the continuously extraction of heat. Refrigeration is nothing but the continuously extraction of heat from a body of higher temperature, and it will be carried out or it will be transferred to the body of lower temperature. So that process will be called as a refrigeration process. Now another word is nothing but the air conditioning. So most of you might have observed the air conditioner that may be at various offices, as well as at the cinema theater, as well as at mall also you might have observed the air conditioner. So can anyone tell me what is meant by air conditioning? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of air conditioning? So from this word itself, you are getting the meaning as the conditioning of air. From this word itself, you are getting the meaning as a conditioning of air is called as the air conditioning. But what is the exact meaning of conditioning of air? What is the exact meaning of conditioning of air? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me general idea related to air conditioning? What exactly you are doing in case of air conditioning? Musale. Prajwal Musale. Can you tell me the meaning of air conditioning, or what exactly you are doing the in case of air conditioning process?
Yes, sir, to maintain the temperature of the air and also to clean the air and purify it.
To maintain the temperature, also to clean the air and purify it. Okay. Any another answer? Any another answer? Will tell. Mangesh Misal. What is the meaning of air conditioning? Can anyone tell? Samat Sawan. What exactly we are doing in case of air conditioning? एखाद्या ऑफिसला जर तुम्ही एअर कंडिशनिंग करत असाल, समजा हे तुमचं ऑफिस आहे, ह्या ठिकाणी जर तुम्ही एसी प्रोव्हाइड करत असाल, तर मेन इंटेन्शन काय असतं तुमचं? मेन इंटेन्शन काय असतं तुमचं? टू कंट्रोल द ह्युमिडिटी. ओके, भारत. एनी अनदर थिंग? फक्त ह्युमिडिटी कंट्रोल करतो का? What will be the main intention to provide the air conditioning for any of the office or for at any of the place? So whenever you are providing air conditioning to any of the office or at any of the place, you are maintaining some particular temperature. Suppose here you are maintaining 20 degrees centigrade temperature. You are maintaining 20 degrees centigrade temperature and suppose 50% relative humidity. 50% relative humidity. So this is the need. This is your need. So whatever may be the external or ambient temperature, whatever may be the ambient atmospheric condition, whatever may be the external condition, irrespective of external condition, if you are maintaining the desirable internal atmospheric condition, irrespective of external condition, बाहेर उन्हाळा असू द्या, हिवाळा असू द्या, पाऊस पडू द्या, काही होऊ द्या, बाहेरच्या कंडिशनशी तुम्हाला काय घेणं देणं नाही. तुम्हाला काय करायचंय? You have to maintain the internal desirable atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. So that process will be called as the air conditioning. So air conditioning is nothing but the process in which we are maintaining the internal desirable atmospheric condition. Air conditioning is nothing but the process in which we are maintaining the internal desirable atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. And how we are maintaining those conditions? How we are maintaining those conditions? So we are maintaining those conditions by conditioning the air. By conditioning the air. And what is the exact meaning of conditioning of air? That means we have to control the various parameters of that air. So there will be the various parameters which are affecting on the conditioning of air, and those parameters are nothing but the temperature of air, humidity of air, purification of air, and motion of the air. So when you are going to simultaneously control these four parameters, when you are going to simultaneously control these four parameters, that is nothing but temperature, humidity, purification, and air motion, to maintain the desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition, then that process will be called as the air conditioning process. Then that process will be called as a air conditioning process. So air conditioning is nothing but process of simultaneous control of temperature, humidity is also called as a moisture content, then air velocity and air purification. So for what purpose you are controlling this simultaneous controlling this four parameter? To obtain the desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. To obtain the desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. So that will be called as a air conditioning. So from here onwards, for each and every lecture of RAC, you have to be present along with your notebook. So whatever important definition as well as whatever important formulas we are studying during our lecture, or whatever important points which are being mentioned on the PPTs, those points you need to note down in your notebook, because whatever this refrigeration and air conditioning subject is there, so this is the purely basic subject. So until and unless you are not going to clear all the basic, you will not get or you will not be able to solve the problem as well as derivation, because this subject is consisting of theoretical part, then drawing of pH and TS diagram as well as PV and TS diagram. So for that purpose, understanding of PV TS diagram, pH TS diagram is necessary. Then derivation part is also there in this subject, as well as numericals are also there in this subject. So, and one topic is depend upon the next topic. So until and unless you will not clear the previous topic, you will not get the next topic. So from here onwards, for each and every lecture of refrigeration and air conditioning, you have to prepare, you have to be along with your notebook, 200 pages notebook, and whatever important points are there, you have to note down these points, because based on these points only, whatever our next lecture will be there, that will be based on the previous or content of the previous lecture. Are you getting? And if you are going to, sorry, if you are going to miss the previous lecture, then on that same day only you have to clear that concept, because whatever next lecture will be there, that next lecture will be depending upon our previous lecture. So until and unless you are not going to clear our previous lecture, you will not get anything related to our next lecture. So this will, because for each and every point there will be the linkages. So until and unless you are not going to clear previous point, you will not get the next point. So at the start of lecture only, or at the start of syllabus only, I am clearing these points, because at the end, if you are going to be irregular, then you will not get anything from this subject. Are you getting? Okay. Now, why this refrigeration and air conditioning subject is being kept for your mechanical engineering branch? So what is the importance of this subject? Can anyone tell me what is the importance of this subject? With the help of this picture, can anyone tell me why this subject refrigeration and air conditioning is important to study? Okay, let it be. Can anyone tell me what this picture is indicating?
So fruits and vegetables are stored in refrigeration and air conditioning.
Foods and vegetables are being stored in refrigeration and air conditioning. Okay. Anything else? Can anyone elaborate this picture? हे पिक्चर काय सांगतंय, कोण सांगेल? जर तुम्ही IAS, IES
post-
जर एक्झाम देत असाल तर त्या ठिकाणी कसं असतं तुमचं जे थेरॉटिकल म्हणजे ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह टाईप जर एक्झाम क्लिअर झाली तर पुढे परत डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह टाईप ऑफ एक्झाम असते. परत तुमचे ते नेव्ही किंवा एअरफोर्स किंवा इंडियन आर्मी वगैरे जे आहे त्यामध्ये पण असं असतं. त्या ठिकाणी काय दिलं जातं, तुम्हाला फक्त एक पिक्चर दाखवलं जातं आणि त्याच्या रिलेटेड तुमचा व्ह्यू काय आहे असं विचारलं जातं. त्यावरून तुमची थिंकिंग पॉवर काय आहे किंवा कोणत्या डायरेक्शनला जाते ते समजतं त्यांना. त्या पिक्चरच्या बाबतीत कोण काय सांगेल का?
सर म्हणजे फूड स्टोरिंग साठी आपल्याला रेफ्रिजरेशन पाहिजे आहे फॉर लॉंग टाइम ऑफ दी मटेरियल फ्रेश राहण्यासाठी त्यासाठी. आणि पहिल्याच्या जमान्यात नव्हतं सर, त्यामुळे आता ते एक सिस्टीम आहे आपल्याकडे रेफ्रिजरेशनची.
ओके. त्या पिक्चर बद्दल कोण काय सांगेल का? पिक्चर वरून काय वाटतं तुम्हाला? Can anyone tell me related to this picture? Okay, next picture. After that, next picture. या 3 पिक्चरच्या रिलेटेड कोण काय सांगेल का? ओके, त्या 3 पिक्चर वरून ह्या सब्जेक्टचं इम्पॉर्टन्स कोण सांगेल का? कुणाला काय सांगता येईल? सचिन क्षीरसागर आहात का?
येस सर.
काय सांगता येईल? काय सांगता येईल ह्या पिक्चर वरून?
सर इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ सब्जेक्ट सांगायचं का?
हा.
Sir, the course consists of different refrigeration cycles,
Okay.
such as air refrigeration, vapor compression cycle, and vapor absorption cycle.
त्या पिक्चर मध्ये कुठे दिसतंय का तुम्हाला वेपर कॉम्प्रेशन, वेपर ऍब्झॉर्प्शन सायकल?
पिक्चर वरून सांगायचं.
हा, पिक्चर वरून सांगायचं.
Sir, subject containing refrigeration.
Okay. Okay, you can mute yourself, Sachin. Thank you. So whatever this subject, refrigeration and air conditioning subject is there. So this complete subject is evolved. ह्या सब्जेक्टची जी उत्पत्ती झालेली आहे, so that subject is being evolved out of the human need of food preservation and human comfort. So whatever this first picture you are observing, so this is very old picture, or this is the picture from the ancient era. So here you are observing that there is one lady, and that lady, surrounding to that lady, there is so much food stuff is there, and that lady is in tense that how to preserve this food for longer period of time. How to preserve this food for longer period of time. So that may be for over the month or over the week, or that may be for over the year also. How to preserve this food. So here, whatever our subject refrigeration and air conditioning is there, so that subject is being evolved from the human need itself. So what is the human need? So first human need is nothing but the preservation of food. First human need is nothing but the preservation of food for longer period of time. And for preservation of food for longer period of time, we are having the refrigeration process. So by using the refrigeration process, by controlling the moisture content as well as by controlling the microorganism growth or microbiological growth inside the food or that in the vegetable, we can preserve the food for longer period of time. And whatever second need of human being is there, that is nothing but the human comfort. That is nothing but the human comfort. So when you will feel the discomfortness, so whatever comfortness as well as whatever discomfortness is there, so that entire process is depend upon the psychological treatment, or that will depend upon the psychological condition of human being. And whatever psychological condition of human being will be there, that will be depending upon the surrounding atmosphere or surrounding condition. So when you will feel comfortable, whenever you are unaware of discomfort. तुम्ही कम्फर्टेबल आहे असं कधी म्हणणार आहे? त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला माहितच नाही की तुमच्या सराउंडिंगला डिस्कम्फर्टनेस आहे. So that is nothing but the psychological treatment, or that is nothing but the psychological process. So for both the human need, that is nothing but the food preservation as well as human comfort, that subject refrigeration and air conditioning is being evolved. So whatever food preservation need will be there, that will be accomplished with the help of refrigeration, and whatever human comfort need is there, that human comfort need will be accomplished with the help of air conditioning. So that is the importance of this subject refrigeration and air conditioning. So there are various applications in the various field of this subject refrigeration and air conditioning. So first and basic application of this refrigeration subject or refrigeration is nothing but the for in many of the food processing industries as well as for preservation of food, we are using the refrigeration processes. Then in many of the chemical processing industries also, we are using refrigeration as well as air conditioning. So how we are using that air conditioning for chemical processes? So there are so many processes which can occur for particular temperature as well as for particular humidity. So until and unless we are not going to maintain desirable internal atmospheric condition, unless we are not going to maintain internal atmospheric or internal desirable atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition, so that chemical processes will not take place. So in many of the chemical processes as well as in many of the pharmaceutical processes also, in pharmaceutical processes what we are doing the chemical processes itself. So in many of the pharmaceutical industries, we are maintaining the clean room concept. So there also we are maintaining the desirable internal atmospheric condition. Then in process industries like textile mill, then printing press, then photographic materials, there also we are doing, or we are having the refrigeration as well as air conditioning. Mostly air conditioning will be provided. Then cooling of concrete for heavy structure like dam, there we are using the refrigeration processes. Then for comfort air conditioning as well as for industrial air conditioning. Industrial air conditioning means whenever there will be the tool room where we are manufacturing the precise component. So for proper functioning of those tool room machines, we require to maintain the desirable atmospheric condition. So like our human body, that machine will also give the best performance in the particular atmospheric temperature, or as well as for particular atmospheric condition. So to have that particular atmospheric condition, we will have the air conditioning processes. Then industrial air conditioning also, we are using the refrigeration as well as air conditioning. Now, before proceeding towards our first topic, that is nothing but basics of refrigeration and refrigerant, or basics of refrigeration cycle and refrigerant, we need to have some recap related to the some of the concept which we are going to use repeatedly throughout this subject. So within few minutes, we'll take the recap of the basics which we required to have before studying this refrigeration and air conditioning subject. And whatever basic we are going to recap, most of the basic will be from the thermodynamic itself, because whatever prerequisite subject will be there for this refrigeration and air conditioning. Sorry. Whether you are getting the voice from that CNC machine. Okay. So here, whatever prerequisite subject for this refrigeration and air conditioning subject will be there. Those prerequisite subject will be the thermodynamic, then fluid machinery and fluid power, then HMT, as well as IC engine. So based on the basic concept of this four subject, whatever the new applied subject will be there, that is nothing but the refrigeration and air conditioning. Out of this four subject, maximum utilization or maximum or more concentration will be from the concept of the thermodynamic as well as IC engine. So we'll have the recap related to some of the basic point. So what is the refrigeration? We have seen what is meant by refrigeration. Refrigeration is nothing but the process of removal of heat. Process of removal of heat from one substance, and whenever we are removing the heat from any substance, that heat has to be transferred to the another substance. That heat has to be transferred to the another substance. So process of removing heat to reduce and maintain the temperature below atmospheric temperature. So process of removing heat from one substance. So from where we are absorbing the heat, so whatever substances we are keeping inside the refrigerator. So from those substances we are absorbing the heat. And that heat will be released to any another substance. So that heat will be transferred to another substance. That means whatever entire refrigeration process is there, that entire refrigeration process will be related to the transferring of heat from one substance to the another substance. So as it involves the transfer of heat or removal of heat from one substance to another substance, so first of all, we need to see what is mean by, or what is the exact meaning of heat. And how that heat will be removed from one substance to another substance. So can anyone tell me what is mean by heat? Can anyone tell me what is mean by heat? Heat कशाला म्हणणार आहे आपण? What is the definition of heat in thermodynamic as well as in heat transfer? You might have studied the concept of heat. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of heat? As we are doing the recapping or revising, so we have to, or we need to go fast. Can anyone tell me what is mean by heat? Heat कशाला म्हणणार आहे आपण?
Sir, transient form of energy.
It is the transient form of energy. Okay. So it is the transient form of energy which can transfer because of the temperature difference. So you might be knowing that whenever heat is being transferred, that heat is being transferred mainly because of the temperature difference. So that heat is the one of the transient form of energy. So related to the heat, there are some of the important points. So those important points are nothing but whatever heat is being transferred. This is the boundary phenomenon. So whatever heat is being transferred across the boundary from the system because of higher temperature to the lower temperature. So that will be transferred mainly because of by virtue of temperature difference. म्हणजे हीट जी ट्रान्सफर होत असते ते नेहमी कशामुळे ट्रान्सफर होत असते? बिकॉज ऑफ टेम्परेचर डिफरन्स. अँड वॉट एव्हर हीट इज देअर, that is the transient form. It is the transient form of energy which can be identified only when it crosses the boundary of a system. Only when it crosses the boundary of system, and it exists only during the transfer of energy into or out of the system. It is exist only during the transfer of energy into the system or out of the system. So whenever heat will be transferred from the system to the surrounding, whenever it is being transferred from the system to the surrounding, so heat flowing into the system, that will be considered as a positive. म्हणजे एखाद्या सिस्टीमला जर आपण हीट प्रोव्हाइड करत असेल तर ती हीट कशी असते, पॉझिटिव्ह असते. अँड व्हेन एव्हर हीट इज फ्लोईंग आउट ऑफ द सिस्टीम, that will be considered as a negative. That will be considered as a negative. So here one more word is there which is resemble or which is similar to the word called as a heat. That is nothing but the work. So work is also one of the form of energy. Work is also one of the form of energy. But there is a differentiation between heat and work. Though both the forms or both the word heat as well as work are form of energy, but whatever heat is there, that heat will be called as a low grade energy. That energy is also being differentiated as a low grade energy and high grade energy. So out of the heat and work, heat is called as a low grade energy, and whatever work is there, that work will be called as a high grade energy. What is the meaning of low grade energy and high grade energy? What is the meaning of low grade energy and high grade energy? As heat is the low grade energy, that means all the heat cannot be transferred into work. All the heat cannot be transferred into work. That's why we are calling heat as a low grade energy. Whereas all the work can be transferred into heat. That's why we are calling work as a high grade energy. So whenever we are providing the work to any of the system, whenever we are providing the work to any of the system, any of the thermodynamic system, so that will be considered as a negative. Whereas whenever we are providing the heat to any of the system, that will be considered as a positive. And vice versa. Vice versa means whenever we are taking the heat or taking out the heat from the system, that will be considered as a negative. And whenever we are obtaining the work, whenever we are obtaining the work from any of the system, that will be considered as a positive. So this is related to heat and work. Then there will be basically two types of heat. There will be basically two types of heat. First one is called as a sensible heat, and second one is called as a latent heat. Can anyone tell me what is meant by sensible heat and what is meant by latent heat? Can anyone tell me what is meant by sensible heat and what is meant by latent heat? Because based on the concept of sensible and latent heat only, that entire refrigeration process is being understood. So can anyone tell me what is meant by sensible heat?
The temperature, the heat required to change the only temperature is called as sensible, and in which the phase changes, that heat is called as latent.
Okay. Any another? Any another answer or any another view related to sensible heat and latent heat? Can anyone tell me? Here, if you see the first picture, here what you are having? You are having one water, and temperature of that water is nothing but 15.6 degrees centigrade. Temperature of that water is nothing but 15.6 degrees centigrade. Now, when you are going to heat this water, when you are going to heat this water, so here phase of water is nothing but liquid phase. Phase of water is nothing but liquid phase. So whenever you are going to heat this 15.6 degrees centigrade water, so after some times you will observe that the temperature of that water is nothing but 100 degrees centigrade. Temperature of that water is nothing but 100 degrees centigrade. But you are having the water only. You are having the water only. That means here phase of that substance remains same. Initially there was the liquid phase. Initially there was the liquid phase. Finally there is a liquid phase. Finally there is a liquid phase. Here phase does not changes, only whatever heat is being supplied that will be utilized to change the temperature. That will be utilized to change the temperature without changing phase. So such type of heat will be called as a sensible heat. So sensible heat is nothing but whatever amount of heat is provided or whatever amount of heat is being removed. त्या ठिकाणी जर रिव्हर्स प्रोसेस जर करायची असेल तुम्हाला, म्हणजे 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं वॉटर आहे, त्यातनं जर तुम्ही हीट काढून घे चालू केली तर त्या केसमध्ये काय होणार आहे, थोड्या वेळानंतर त्या वॉटरचं टेम्परेचर काय होणार आहे, 15 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड किंवा 15.6 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. त्या केसमध्ये जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही ऍब्झॉर्ब केलेली आहे किंवा जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही रिमूव्ह केलेली आहे किंवा ह्या केसमध्ये जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही सप्लाय केलेली आहे, to change the temperature of that substance without changing the phase, so that amount of heat will be called as a sensible heat. So sensible heat is nothing but amount of heat supplied or amount of heat removed to change the temperature without changing the phase, that will be called as a sensible heat. And second one is called as a latent heat. Now what is the meaning of latent heat? Here initially you are having 100 degree centigrade water. You are having the water which is having the temperature as a 100 degree centigrade, which is having the temperature as a 100 degree centigrade. Now when you are going to provide the heat, to that 100 degree centigrade water, then you will observe that water is being converted into steam. That water is being converted into steam, but temperature of that steam is same, that is nothing but 100 degree centigrade. That means here initially you were having the liquid, and by providing the heat, that liquid is getting converted into gas. Without change of temperature. Initial temperature was 100 degree centigrade, final temperature is 100 degree centigrade. So amount of heat supplied, त्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही काय करताय, हीट सप्लाय करताय. जर रिव्हर्स केस असेल, रिव्हर्स केस म्हणजे काय, तुमच्याकडे सुरुवातीला काय 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडची स्टीम आहे, त्यातून जर तुम्ही हीट ऍब्झॉर्ब करायला चालू केली किंवा हीट रिमूव्ह करायला चालू केली, तर थोड्या वेळानंतर तुम्हाला काय मिळणार आहे, त्या 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड स्टीमचं कन्वर्जन कशामध्ये होणार आहे, 100 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड लिक्विड मध्ये होणार आहे. ह्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही काय करताय, हीट रिमूव्ह करताय, and in this case you are adding the heat. So here latent heat is nothing but amount of heat supplied or amount of heat removed to change the phase of substance, without changing the temperature of that substance. That amount of heat will be called as a latent heat. Now next concept is related to the various thermodynamic laws. So how many laws are there related to the thermodynamic? 1, 2, 3. How many thermodynamic laws are there? Or how many thermodynamic laws you have studied in the thermodynamics? किती लॉ शिकला तुम्ही? फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक, सेकंड लॉ, थर्ड लॉ, अजून कोणता शिकलाय? zeroth law शिकलाय का? Okay, zeroth law also there. So we'll recap those thermodynamic law. So out of that, first one is nothing but zeroth law of thermodynamic. So can anyone tell me the statement of zeroth law of thermodynamic? Can anyone tell me the statement of zeroth law of thermodynamic? Do it fast. कशाला म्हणतोय आपण zeroth law of thermodynamics? अरे बाबा सांगा ही काहीतरी.
Sir, when first body is in thermal equilibrium with second body and second body is thermal equilibrium with third body, then we can see that first body is in thermal equilibrium with third body.
Okay, correct. So when we are having three bodies, and all the three bodies are in thermal equilibrium with each other. In thermal equilibrium with each other. That means here, suppose I'm saying that, suppose I'm having this first body, this has a body. This A body is in thermal equilibrium with B, and this A body is in thermal equilibrium with C. Then according to zeroth law, here the second and third body will be also in thermal equilibrium. That means zeroth law states that if two systems are in thermal equilibrium, if two systems are in thermal equilibrium with the third system, then they are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. So that will be called as a zeroth law of thermodynamics. Then next one is nothing but the first law of thermodynamics. Next one is nothing but first law of thermodynamics. So how many statements are there related to first law of thermodynamics? Can anyone tell me? How many statements are there related to first law of thermodynamics? Okay. स्टेटमेंट माहित नसतील जाऊ द्या. फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स कोणाला सांगता येईल? फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स कोण सांगेल?
Sir, it is a law of energy conservation म्हणतात. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but is transferred from one form to
another form. Okay, this is one of the statement of related to first law of thermodynamics. That is called as a law of conservation of energy. One more statement is there. One more statement is there that is related with the heat and work. Can anyone tell me that statement related to first law of thermodynamics, which is correlated or which is in relation with the heat and work?
Q is equal to delta U plus W.
Q is equal to delta E plus W. Okay. So first law of thermodynamics. So first statement is heat and mechanical work. Heat and mechanical work are mutually interconvertible. Are mutually interconvertible. So here you are observing that you are having some gas. Suppose these are the gases, and here with the help of this piston cylinder assembly, you are supplying the work. So whenever you are supplying work to any of the system, so that work will get converted into heat. That means work and heat are mutually interconvertible. Heat as well as mechanical work are mutually interconvertible, and according to this, here you will get that delta E. Delta E is nothing but change in internal energy. Delta E is nothing but change in internal energy, which is equal to difference between heat and work. Which is equal to difference between heat and work. So that is nothing but first statement related to first law of thermodynamics, and that can be written as a closed integration of delta Q is equal to closed integration of delta W. Delta Q is nothing but change in change in heat, which is equal to change in work. So that is nothing but the first law of thermodynamics. Then another statement related to first law of thermodynamics, that is nothing but law of conservation of energy. So according to that law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but one form of energy can be converted into another form. So here there are various examples here that energy conversion is being taking place. First example is related to the automobile. So here chemical energy is getting converted into mechanical energy and heat energy, because here whatever petrol or diesel you are providing to that vehicle, that is nothing but one form of chemical energy. So whenever there will be the combustion of that petrol or diesel, so that chemical energy is getting converted into heat energy. Heat energy will again get converted into mechanical energy. So that is nothing but conversion of one form of energy into another form. Similarly, there are various examples which are displayed in this picture. And here delta Q minus delta W is equal to dE. That is nothing but change in heat minus change in work, which is equal to change in internal energy. So that is the first law of thermodynamics. Now, after first law, there is another law called as the second law of thermodynamics. So related to this second law of thermodynamics, there will be again two statements. Can anyone tell me which are these two statements? So first one is called as the Kelvin-Planck statement, and second one is called as the Clausius statement. So out of that, whatever Clausius statement is there, so that is the basic working principle. That is the basic working principle of our refrigeration system. So whatever entire refrigeration process or whatever entire refrigeration system is there, the basic working principle on which that refrigeration process work is nothing but the Clausius law or Clausius statement. So there are two statements, Kelvin-Planck statement and Clausius statement. Can anyone tell me? First of all, Kelvin-Planck statement. कोण सांगेल?
It is impossible to construct a cyclic operating device like a heat engine whose sole effect is to transfer all amount of heat into a equivalent work.
Okay, correct. So it is impossible to construct an device such as heat engine whose sole effect is to transfer the heat into the equivalent work. So this process is impossible. So that is nothing but the Kelvin-Planck statement. So this is the first statement related to second law of thermodynamics. And whatever second statement is there, that second statement is called as a Clausius statement. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of or what is the Clausius statement? So whatever Clausius statement is there, that Clausius statement is stating related to transfer of heat or transfer of energy from lower body temperature to higher body temperature. So can anyone tell me the statement, Clausius statement?
It is impossible to construct device that operate in cycle which transfer heat from low temperature to high temperature without any external input or agency.
Okay. So here, whenever you want to transfer the heat, whenever you want to transfer the heat from lower body temperature, whenever you want to transfer the heat from lower body temperature to higher body temperature, it is impossible to transfer the heat from lower body temperature to higher body temperature without add an external agency or without add an external input. That means here it can naturally be transferred from higher body temperature to lower body temperature. म्हणजे 80 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचा रॉड होता तुमच्याकडे, 80 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचा तुमच्याकडे आयर्न रॉड होता आणि तो इझिली काय करत होता, तुमचं जे काय 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं ऍटमॉस्फिअर होतं, 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं ऍटमॉस्फिअर जे होतं त्या ठिकाणी काय करत होता, हीट रिजेक्ट करत होता, म्हणजे हीट ट्रान्सफर करत होता. सो दिस इज द नॅचरल प्रोसेस. This is the natural process where heat is being transferred from higher body temperature to lower body temperature. It is being transferred from higher body temperature to lower body temperature. आता आपल्याकडे काय 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर आहे, 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर आहे आणि इनिशियली माझ्याकडे काय होता 80 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचा रॉड होता, पण मला काय करायचा आहे, तो 80 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचा रॉड अप टू 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पर्यंत कूल करायचा आहे, अप टू 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पर्यंत मेंटेन करायचं आहे. तर त्या केसमध्ये काय करायला पाहिजे, मला त्या ठिकाणी हा जो काय रॉड आहे त्या रॉड मधून काय केलं पाहिजे, कंटिन्युअसली हीट ऍब्झॉर्ब केली पाहिजे, कंटिन्युअसली हीट ऍब्झॉर्ब केली पाहिजे आणि ती कशाला ट्रान्सफर केली पाहिजे, तुमच्या ऍटमॉस्फिअरला ट्रान्सफर केली पाहिजे. म्हणजे काय 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडच्या सबस्टन्स मधून हीट कंटिन्युअसली ऍब्झॉर्ब करायचे आणि ती कशाला ट्रान्सफर करायचे, 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडच्या सबस्टन्सला ट्रान्सफर करायचे. दॅट मीन्स हिअर I need to transfer the heat from lower body temperature. I need to transfer the heat from lower body temperature to higher body temperature. So according to Clausius statement, when it is possible? According to Clausius statement, when it is possible to transfer the heat from lower body temperature to higher body temperature? कधी possible आहे? कधी possible आहे?
एक्सटर्नल
जोपर्यंत तुम्ही एक्सटर्नल वर्क सप्लाय करत नाही तोपर्यंत हे पॉसिबल नाही. म्हणजे सिंपल जर एक्झाम्पल द्यायचं झालं, तुमचा फ्रीज आहे I'll give the simple example. Suppose you are having one fridge आणि फ्रीजच्या सराउंडिंगला ॲटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर किती आहे 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड आहे आणि त्या फ्रीज मध्ये तुम्ही काय केलेलं आहे बॉटल पुटअप केलेले वॉटर बॉटल पुटअप केलेले इनिशियली त्या वॉटर बॉटलचं टेम्परेचर काय समजा ॲटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर होतं किती 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड आणि तुम्हाला त्या वॉटरचं कन्वर्जन कशामध्ये करायचं आहे आईस मध्ये करायचं आहे सपोज 5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडला कन्वर्ट करायचं आहे तर 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडचं 5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड मध्ये कन्वर्जन करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला काय करावं लागणार आहे त्या 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडच्या वॉटरमधून कंटिन्युअसली हीट ऍब्झॉर्ब करावं लागणार आहे कंटिन्युअसली हीट ऍब्झॉर्ब करावी लागणार आहे आणि ती जी काही अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही ऍब्झॉर्ब करणार आहे ती कशाला ट्रान्सफर करावं लागणार आहे तुमच्या ऍटमॉस्फिअरला किंवा हायर बॉडी टेम्परेचरला ती ट्रान्सफर करावं लागणार आहे सो हिअर यू नीड टू ऍब्झॉर्ब द हीट फ्रॉम लोअर बॉडी टेम्परेचर अँड यू नीड टू ट्रान्सफर दॅट हीट टू द हायर बॉडी टेम्परेचर So according to Clausius statement, it is not possible. According to Clausius statement, it is not possible until and unless you are not going to supply the external work. Until and unless you are not going to supply the external work. त्यासाठी तुम्ही फ्रीजला एक्सटर्नल वर्क म्हणून काय देता फ्रीजला एक्सटर्नल वर्क म्हणून काय देता इलेक्ट्रिसिटी देता तर तुम्ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटीच दिली नाही फ्रीजला नुसता फ्रीज आणलाय तुमच्या घरी त्याला इलेक्ट्रिक सप्लाय नाही त्या फ्रीज मध्ये तुमचं वॉटर कूल होणार आहे का किंवा तुम्ही जे काय व्हेजिटेबल किंवा फ्रुट्स ठेवणार आहे ते लॉंगर टाइम साठी राहणार आहेत का राहतील का तुमचे so whatever refrigeration process is there that is completely or that is entirely working based on the second law of thermodynamics that is nothing but based on the Clausius statement so working principle of refrigeration is nothing but the Clausius statement or second law of thermodynamics okay so until and unless you are not providing the electric supply that means until and unless you are not going to provide the external work to that refrigerator it will not be possible to transfer the heat from lower body temperature to higher body temperature that means it will not be possible to cool that substance below its surrounding temperature or below its surrounding atmosphere are you getting so that will be called as a second law of thermodynamics or Clausius statement related to second law of thermodynamics okay so after first law second law and after zeroth law the next point is an important point called as the enthalpy so you might have heard the word called as the enthalpy म्हणजे काय असतं so enthalpy is nothing but total heat content of the system is called as the enthalpy so for occurring any of the process that means for doing change in any of the system so there will be basically two types of systems or that heat transfer will take place basically in the two systems so first one is called as the endothermic processes and second one is called as the exothermic processes so there will be some processes so while doing that processes amount of heat will be absorbed by the system so that will be called as the endothermic process and there will be some processes so while doing that process amount of heat will be released from that system so those will be called as the exothermic processes so whatever enthalpy word is there so enthalpy is nothing but amount of heat or heat content of the system and that is also called as the amount of heat or energy which is being absorbed by the system to cause the change in the system म्हणजे एखाद्या सिस्टीम मध्ये जर चेंज पाहिजे असेल किंवा एखाद्या सिस्टीमचा जर काही चेंज ऑकर करायचा असेल तर तो चेंज ऑकर करण्यासाठी जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही सप्लाय करताय किंवा जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट तुम्ही रिमूव्ह करताय दॅट विल बी कॉल्ड एज अ एन्थाल्पी सो वन बेसिक इक्वेशन इज देअर H is equal to U plus PV whereas H is called as the enthalpy, U is called as the internal energy, PV that will be called as the work done. So here if you want to calculate the change in enthalpy, so delta H will be equal to delta U plus P into delta V. So delta H will be called as a change in enthalpy. So change in enthalpy means that there may be the possibility that heat may be added or heat may be removed from the system. So depending upon heat addition or heat removal, that change in enthalpy value will depend. Delta U is nothing but change in internal energy, and P into delta V, that will be called as a work done. So that will be called as a enthalpy. So similar to enthalpy, there will be another word that will be called as a entropy. That will be called as a entropy. So the basic definition related to entropy is nothing but degree of disorderedness of the system. Degree of disorderedness of the system or randomness of system. That will be called as a entropy. Now, what is the exact meaning of randomness of system? What is the exact meaning of randomness of system? Suppose you are having one system. So this is our first system. This is our first system. And suppose that system is consisting of number of molecules. Suppose that system is consisting of number of molecules, and whatever number of molecules are there, so those number of molecules will be displayed, or those number of molecules will have the highly disorderedness as well as highly randomness. Those will be moving from any point to any point. So that system will be called as a that system will be called as a high entropy system. High entropy system. And when you are going to control the randomness as well as disorderedness, when you are going to control the randomness as well as disorderedness, then you will observe that here whatever molecules are there which were previously highly randomness as well as in highly disorder manner, now here you are controlling randomness as well as disorderedness of that molecule. Here again you are closely packing, and here you are making that system as a highly ordered system. That means low disorder and low randomness. So here for this system, the value of entropy will be the lowest value, and that value of entropy will goes on increasing towards this direction, and value of entropy will be maximum when that system will have the higher value of randomness and higher value of disorderedness. So entropy is nothing but measure of disorderedness of the system or measure of degree of randomness of the system. That will be called as a entropy. And whatever system you are observing inside the universe, each and every system will have the value of entropy. And the value of entropy of any of the system, will become zero. Value of entropy of any of the system will become zero only at absolute zero temperature. Only at absolute zero temperature. That absolute zero temperature is nothing but minus 273 degrees centigrade. Minus 273 degrees centigrade or at 0 Kelvin. फक्त आणि फक्त 0 केल्विनला किंवा फक्त आणि फक्त minus 273 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडलाच काय असतं, कोणत्याही सिस्टीमचं व्हॅल्यू ऑफ एंट्रोपी काय होते, 0 होते. Otherwise, for any of the temperature, there will be some value of entropy, and that value of entropy will be given by equation delta Q is equal to T into ds. Value of entropy will be given by equation delta Q is equal to T into ds, whereas delta Q is nothing but change in heat. Delta Q is nothing but change in heat. T is nothing but absolute temperature. And ds is nothing but change in entropy. That means whatever value of entropy is there, whatever value of change in entropy is there, that is depend upon heat as well as temperature. Delta Q by T. Value of ds is equal to dq divided by T. ds is equal to dq divided by t. That means whatever value of entropy is there, value of entropy is depend upon value of change in heat and value of temperature of the system. Are you getting? इथपर्यंत जे काय आपण बेसिक घेतलेलं आहे, रिकॅप ऑफ बेसिक घेतलेलं आहे, समजलं का सगळ्यांना? If you are having any problem up to this point, you can ask me. Have you understood up to this point? Write in the comment box. If you have understood, write Y in the comment box. If you haven't understood, write N in the comment box, so that I will come to know that how many students have understood up to this point. And still, if you are having any question or any query up to the points which I have studied up till now, you can ask me. What about remaining student? If you are having any question or any query, you can ask me. आहे का कोणाला काय क्वेश्चन किंवा कोणाची काय क्वेरी? Okay. Now next point, I think that may be the last point related to the recap of basic. So last point is nothing but various thermodynamic processes. कोणत्या कोणत्या thermodynamic processes तुम्ही शिकला आजपर्यंत? In case of thermodynamics as well as in case of IC engine, you might have studied the various cycles. So each and every cycle will consisting of number of thermodynamic processes. So which thermodynamic processes you have studied up till now? Can anyone tell me? Write in the chat box which thermodynamic processes you have studied up till now. Isothermal, isochoric, isobaric. Okay. अजून? फक्त तीनच शिकलाय तुम्ही? Isothermal, isochoric, isobaric, adiabatic also. Okay. Okay, 4 processes. अजून? Isentropic also. Okay, good. अजून कोणती राहते का? रिव्हर्सिबल. फक्त रिव्हर्सिबल काय येते पुढे काय? रिव्हर्सिबल आयसोथर्मल असू शकते, रिव्हर्सिबल adiabatic असू शकते. Okay, polytropic also you have studied. Okay, then you might have drawn those various processes, or you might have represented those various processes on the PV as well as on the TS diagram. Have you represented those various processes on the PV and TS diagram? Yes or no? Okay. So we'll see. So the various processes which you have studied up till now, various thermodynamic processes which you have studied up till now, those are nothing but isobaric process. Isobaric process is called as a constant pressure process. Second one is called as a isochoric process. Isochoric means constant volume process. Then next one is called as a isothermal process. Isothermal process is called as a constant temperature process. Constant temperature process. Then next one is called as a isenthalpic process. As enthalpy word is there. So isenthalpic process means constant enthalpy process. So during the process, or while occurring that process, if enthalpy remains constant, that will be called as the isenthalpic process. During the process or during the entire process, if temperature of that system remains constant, that will be called as the constant temperature or isothermal process. During or while occurring that entire process, if volume of that system will remains constant, that will be called as the isochoric process. And during the process, if pressure of that system will remains constant, that will be called as the isobaric process. And one more process is there, so that is called as the isentropic process. Isentropic process is called as a reversible adiabatic process for multiple choice question. This this sentence is very much important. Isentropic process is called as a reversible adiabatic process. You are knowing what is meant by adiabatic process. Adiabatic process कशाला म्हणतो आपण? Adiabatic process कधी म्हणणार आहे? कशाला म्हणतोय adiabatic process? सांगा रे बघून कशाला म्हणतो? When we are going to say any process as an adiabatic process, no heat transfer. Okay, so while occurring that process, if heat will not be transferred from system to surrounding or from surrounding to system, while occurring any process, if heat will not be transferred from system to surrounding or from surrounding to system, then that will be called as a adiabatic process. And whatever that reversible adiabatic process will be there, that will be called as the isentropic process. So whatever our chapter number 1 and chapter number 2, both the chapters are there. Both the chapters are entirely depend upon those various thermodynamic processes, because in both the chapter, we have to represent each and every system. We have to represent each and every system with the help of these various thermodynamic processes. So understanding of these various processes and representation of those various processes on PV and TS diagram, as well as on the pH and TS diagram, is very much important. For that purpose, we are taking this recap. So first of all, PV and TS diagram. You should know the layout related to PV and TS diagram. So in the PV diagram, whenever you are representing any process on the PV diagram, so always you are taking the pressure. Always you are taking pressure on y-axis, volume on x-axis. Volume on x-axis. So here, if I want to draw the constant pressure line, then I have to draw the vertical line. Vertical line parallel to the y-axis. That will be called as a constant pressure line. Then horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Horizontal line parallel to x-axis, that will be called as a constant volume line. Constant volume line. Then if I want to draw the constant temperature line, then what will be the nature of constant temperature line? So here, constant temperature line, this will be the nature of constant temperature line. So these are nothing but the constant temperature line. So this line is indicating the temperature as a T3. This line is indicating the temperature as a T2. This line is indicating the temperature as a T1. This line is indicating the temperature as a T1. So this is nothing but the nature of constant temperature line. This is nothing but the nature of constant temperature line on the PV diagram. And here, if we want to represent the adiabatic process or constant entropy line, if you want to represent the adiabatic processes or constant entropy line on the PV diagram, then nature of constant entropy line will be likewise. So this will be called as a constant entropy line, or this will be the nature of constant entropy line. So here you will have the entropy as a S1, here you will have the entropy as a S2, here you will have the entropy as a S3, likewise. Similarly, on the TS diagram, any vertical line on the TS diagram, will represent the constant temperature line. Any horizontal line parallel to x-axis, any horizontal line parallel to x-axis that will represent constant entropy line, that will represent constant entropy line. Now what about constant pressure line and constant volume line? If I want to represent constant pressure line, that is suppose isobaric process on the TS diagram. Isobaric means pressure remains constant. That means I should know the nature of constant pressure line on the TS diagram. I should know the nature of constant volume line on the TS diagram. So what is the nature of constant pressure line and what is the nature of constant volume line? So here, this is nothing but the nature of constant pressure line on the TS diagram. This is nothing but the nature of constant pressure line. So this entire line is indicating the same pressure as a P1. This entire line is indicating the same pressure as a P2. This entire line is indicating the same pressure as a P3. So these are nothing but the constant pressure line. This vertical line are indicating the isentropic, that is nothing but constant entropy line. What about constant volume line? What about constant volume line? So here on the same TS diagram, whatever lines will be there, which will have the more inclination. Likewise, such types of lines will be there. Those will be called as a constant volume line. Here, this line will indicate the volume as a P1. This will indicate the volume as a P2. This will indicate the volume as a P3. So likewise, number of lines will be there, which will have the nature likewise, like this. So those will be called as a constant volume line on the TS diagram. So are you understanding on the PV diagram how to draw the constant temperature line and how to draw the constant entropy line? So nature of constant temperature line, कारण की PV diagram वरती vertical line obviously काय indicate करणार आहे? काय क्वेश्चन विचारतोय? PV diagram वरती vertical line काय indicate करणार आहे?
सर आयसोबारिक येईल ना. सॉरी, पीव्ही डायग्राम वरती व्हर्टिकल लाईन आयसोकोरिक येईल, कॉन्स्टंट व्हॉल्यूम.
सॉरी ओके, यस. PV diagram वरती
व्हर्टिकल लाईन आयसोकोरिक येईल.
व्हर्टिकल लाईन आयसोकोरिक येणार आहे. ह्याचा अर्थ काय होतोय? ही जर लाईन तुम्ही ड्रॉ केली, सपोज 1 to 2 प्रोसेस, दिस एज अ पॉइंट 1, दिस एज अ पॉइंट 2. Here you are observing that point 1 is having the pressure as a P1. Point 1 is having the pressure as a P1. Point 2 is having the pressure as a P2. That means value of pressure is going to change. But here if you observe the value of volume, here value of P1 is equal to value of P2. म्हणजे any vertical line, लक्ष द्या, any vertical line on the PV diagram will indicate the constant volume line. That is nothing but isochoric process. And any horizontal line on the PV diagram, आता ही horizontal line आहे तुमची. Suppose this has a point number 1, this has a point number 2. So here this point number 1 will have the volume as a P1 and this point number 2 will have the volume as a P2. But if you observe both the point P1, both the point 1 and 2 is having the pressure as a P1 which is equal to P2. Horizontal line है, P1 is equal to P2. So any horizontal line on the PV diagram will represent the constant pressure line. That is nothing but isobaric line. Are you getting? Similar to this, any vertical line on the TS diagram for multiple choice question as well as for various competitive exam as well as your technical aptitude, this question may be asked. So any vertical line on the TS diagram that will represent the vertical line on the TS diagram that will represent the constant entropy line, कारण की 1 as well as 2 point will have the same value of entropy. हा जर 1 असेल, हा जर 2 असेल, तर दोन्ही पॉइंटची एंट्रोपी काय असणार आहे? सेम असणार आहे. सो दॅट विल बी कॉल्ड एज अ कॉन्स्टंट एंट्रोपी लाईन. आणि ह्या ठिकाणी टेम्परेचर काय असणार आहे? डिफरंट असणार आहे, T1, आणि ह्या ठिकाणचं काय असणार आहे? T2 असणार आहे. सो एनी व्हर्टिकल लाईन ऑन द TS diagram will represent the isentropic process or constant entropy process, any horizontal line on the TS diagram that will represent the constant temperature line or isothermal line. ही जर तुमची 1 to 2 प्रोसेस असेल, दिस ॲज अ 1 to 2 प्रोसेस असेल, तर ह्या ठिकाणी काय असणार आहे, दोन्ही पॉईंटचे टेम्परेचरची व्हॅल्यू काय राहणार आहे, सेम राहणार आहे. T1 इज इक्वल टू T2. म्हणजे काय झालं, T1 इज इक्वल टू T2. त्याचा अर्थ काय झाला, that process is isothermal, but here entropy value is changing from S1 to S2. Entropy value is changing from S1 to S2. हे जोपर्यंत तुम्हाला समजत नाही तोपर्यंत आपल्याला फर्स्ट चॅप्टर आणि सेकंड चॅप्टर एंटायरली समजणार नाही. कारण की त्याचं जे अनालिसिस आहे त्या ठिकाणी जे काय प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करायचे आहेत किंवा जे काय डेरिव्हेशन असणार आहेत ते एंटायरली कशावर असणार आहे, तुमच्या ह्या डायग्राम वरती असणार आहे. पीव्ही डायग्राम, टीएस डायग्राम, पीएच डायग्राम वरती असणार आहे. त्यासाठी हा रिकॅप घेतोय आपण. सो हियर if you want to draw the constant temperature line, want to draw the constant temperature line on the PV diagram, the nature of constant temperature line, you should remember this nature of constant temperature line. या टाइपच्या काय असणार आहेत, कॉन्स्टंट टेम्परेचर लाईन असणार आहेत. आणि कॉन्स्टंट एंट्रॉपीच्या लाईन कशा असणार आहेत, नेचर बघा. कॉन्स्टंट एंट्रॉपी लाईन ह्याच्या काय डॉटेड लाईन आहेत, नंबर ऑफ लाईन्स असणार आहेत, त्या कशा नेचर असणार आहेत, कॉन्स्टंट एंट्रॉपी लाईन असणार आहेत. कशावरती, पीव्ही डायग्राम वरती. आणि टीएस डायग्राम वरती कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन ज्या असणार आहेत त्या कशा इंडिकेट करणार आहे तुम्ही, हे ज्या काय लाईन आहेत त्याला पॅरलल लाईन, त्या म्हणजे तुमच्या कोणत्या असणार आहेत, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन असणार आहे. आणि कॉन्स्टंट व्हॉल्यूमच्या लाईन कशा असणार आहेत तुमच्या, त्याचं इन्क्लिनेशन काय असणार आहे, अजून जास्त असणार आहे. सो दीज आर दी कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन. आणि कॉन्स्टंट व्हॉल्यूमच्या ज्या लाईन असणार आहेत तुमच्या त्या अशा टाइप मध्ये असणार आहेत. दीज आर नथिंग बट दी कॉन्स्टंट व्हॉल्यूम लाईन, पॅरलल असणार आहेत एकमेकांना. So those will be called as a constant volume line. Have you understood this concept of layout of PV and TS diagram? Write in the chat box. If you have understood, write Y in the chat box. Otherwise, write N in the chat box. And if you are writing N, then whatever queries are there, whatever queries you are facing, you have to ask those queries. Okay. Now, if I will ask you, draw the isobaric process on the PV and TS diagram. So, draw the isobaric process on the PV and TS diagram in your notebook. Take the photograph of that and send that photograph to my WhatsApp number. I will check how many of you are able to draw PV and TS diagram. Do it fast. You have to draw the isobaric process on the PV and TS diagram. I will give 5 minute time. So in that 5 minutes, you have to draw the PV and TS diagram in your notebook, and you have to send me that PV and TS diagram on my WhatsApp number. Do it fast. Okay. One student has sent me a PV and TS diagram on my display. Okay. Okay. Dipjyoti Sate, you have also sent me the WhatsApp. What about remaining student? Now, when I will ask you to draw any of the process, then you have to represent the initial point, you have to represent the final point, and you have to show that process with the help of arrow. So whether it is possible to show that process, isobaric process, with the help of arrow, whether it is possible, Pranay? Display. Okay. Can you show that process? Dipjyoti, whether it is possible to represent only isobaric process on the PV and TS diagram? Yes or no? Can anyone tell me? फक्त आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस मला पीव्ही आणि टीएस डायग्राम वरती ड्रॉ करायचे, इनिशियल पॉइंट, फायनल पॉइंट विथ द हेल्प ऑफ एरो ऑल्सो. आहे का पॉसिबल? कोण सांगेल? श्रद्धा? कोणाला सांगता येईल? मिलिंद जगदाळे. आहे का
No,
possible?
sir, not possible, I think.
Okay. Any another opinion? Sachin? No. Okay. काय प्रॉब्लेम येईल? फक्त आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस जर मला रिप्रेझेंट करायचे असेल, करता येईल का? किंवा फक्त आयसोथर्मल प्रोसेस रिप्रेझेंट करायचे मला पीव्ही आणि टीएस डायग्राम वरती, करता येईल? आतापर्यंत जेवढा काय तुम्ही सिस्टीम शिकलेला आहात किंवा सायकल शिकलेला आहात, त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही त्या वर्ड बरोबर अजून एक वर्ड ऍड करत होता. आयसोबारिक असू द्या, आयसोकोरिक असू द्या, किंवा आयसेंट्रॉपिक असू द्या, किंवा आयसोथर्मल असू द्या. कोणते वर्ड होते, कोण सांगेल? आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस ऑन द पीव्ही अँड टीएस डायग्राम. तर मी ह्या ठिकाणी ड्रॉ केलेली आहे, पण ही फक्त आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस आहे का? आयसोबारिकचा अर्थ काय? आयसोबारिकचा अर्थ काय? प्रेशर कॉन्स्टंट राहतोय, बरोबर. मग पीव्ही डायग्राम वरती काय, त्या ठिकाणी माझी प्रेशर लाईन आहे, किंवा त्या वाय ऍक्सिसला माझ्याकडे प्रेशर आहे, एक्स ऍक्सिसला व्हॉल्यूम आहे. मला काय माहित आहे? प्रेशर कॉन्स्टंट राहतंय. म्हणजे मी जर हा पॉईंट 1 घेतला, हा पॉईंट 2 घेतला, आणि ही जर कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन ड्रॉ केली, जर कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन ड्रॉ केली, तर ह्या ठिकाणी काय राहिलं? ह्या प्रोसेससाठी प्रेशर कॉन्स्टंट राहिलं. पण एरो देताना जर मी ह्या डायरेक्शनचा एरो देत असेल, तर ह्याचा मिनिंग काय होते? आणि जर एरो देत असताना जर मी ह्या डायरेक्शनचा एरो देत असेल, आणि पॉईंट नंबर 1 माझा ह्या ठिकाणी असेल, आणि पॉईंट नंबर 2 जर ह्या ठिकाणी असेल, तर ह्याचं मिनिंग काय होते? ही झाली आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस. कशावरती? पीव्ही डायग्राम वरती. आता टीएस डायग्राम वरती वर्टिकल लाईन काय इंडिकेट करत होती? कॉन्स्टंट एंट्रॉपी. हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन काय इंडिकेट करते? कॉन्स्टंट टेम्परेचर. मला कोणत्या कॉन्स्टंट लाईनला ड्रॉ करायची आहे ती लाईन? कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईनला ड्रॉ करायची आहे. माझी कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन कशी आहे? ह्या टाइप मध्ये. तर मी काय करणार आहे? कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन वरती इनिशियल पॉईंट घेणार आहे, फायनल पॉईंट घेणार आहे. इनिशियल पॉईंट आणि फायनल पॉईंट घेणार आहे. हा जर माझा इनिशियल पॉईंट असेल, हा जर फायनल पॉईंट असेल, आणि जर माझा एरो ह्या डायरेक्शनला असेल, तर ह्याचं मिनिंग काय आहे? आणि त्या ठिकाणी जर माझा इनिशियल पॉईंट, हा जर माझा इनिशियल पॉईंट असेल, आणि हा जर माझा फायनल पॉईंट असेल, आणि जर माझा जर एरो, त्या प्रोसेसचा जर एरो ह्या डायरेक्शनला असेल, तर त्याचं मिनिंग काय असणार आहे? दोन्ही प्रोसेसेस आयसोबारिकच आहेत, पण आयसोबारिक बरोबर अजून एक वर्ड असायला पाहिजे. तो वर्ड असल्याशिवाय तुम्ही ती एंटायर प्रोसेस रिप्रेझेंट करू शकत नाही. कोणता वर्ड असायला पाहिजे तो? कोणता असायला पाहिजे? रिव्हर्सिबल, नो. हीच प्रोसेस कन्सिडर करा. काय तुमच्याकडे एक पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली आहे असं अज्युम करा. तुमच्याकडे काय पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली आहे असं अज्युम करा. आणि त्या पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्लीमध्ये हे आहे तुमची पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली. सॉरी, ठिकाणी मला स्ट्रेट लाईन ड्रॉ करता येत नाहीत, त्यासाठी ज्या काही लाईन असतील त्या स्ट्रेट लाईन अज्युम करत जावं. ही पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली आहे, त्यामध्ये गॅस आहे समजा. ओके, आता इनिशियली या ठिकाणी जे काय प्रेशर असणार आहे, इनिशियली या ठिकाणी जे काय प्रेशर असणार आहे ते काय असणार आहे, समजा P1 असणार आहे. P1 असणार आहे. आणि त्या केसमध्ये जे काय व्हॉल्यूम असणार आहे, त्या ठिकाणी जो काय व्हॉल्यूम ऑक्युपाय केलेला आहे तो काय आहे, P1 आहे समजा. तो काय आहे, P1 आहे. आता ही जर प्रोसेस जर तुम्ही बघितली तर ह्या ठिकाणी काय होतंय, प्रेशर तुमचं सेम राहतंय. So here pressure is remaining same, that is nothing but P1 is equal to P2, but volume is increasing from P1 to P2. म्हणजे ह्या ठिकाणी काय होतंय, प्रेशर सेमच राहतंय, पण प्रेशर सेम राहत असताना म्हणजे ह्या ठिकाणी पिस्टन वरती जातोय हळूहळू, आणि ह्या ठिकाणी काय होतंय, तो जो काय व्हॉल्यूम आहे याचा व्हॉल्यूम काय होतोय, वाढतोय. प्रेशर काय राहतंय, सेमच राहतंय, व्हॉल्यूम फक्त काय होतं, वाढतोय. म्हणजे आफ्टर दिस at your position of piston will be there, that position of piston will be up to here. आणि ह्या ठिकाणचं प्रेशर काय असणार आहे, सेमच असणार आहे, P2 म्हणजेच काय असणार आहे, P1 असणार आहे. ही कधी प्रोसेस होणार आहे, अशी प्रोसेस कधी होणार आहे, कधी पॉसिबल आहे? त्या ठिकाणी गॅस काय होतोय, एक्सपांड होतोय. गॅस जो आहे तुमचा पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली मधला जो गॅस आहे तो काय होतोय, एक्सपांड होतोय, पण त्या पिस्टनवरचं प्रेशर जे आहे ते काय राहते, सेमच राहते. पिस्टनवरचं प्रेशर जे आहे ते काय राहते, सेमच राहते. म्हणजे ही प्रोसेस कोणती असणार आहे, ही कधी पॉसिबल कधी होणार आहे, गॅस कधी एक्सपांड होणार आहे, until and unless you are not going to provide the external heat, until and unless you are not going to provide the external heat, that gas will not expand at constant pressure. So whatever this process will be there, that will be called as a isobaric heat addition process. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस तुमचा एरो ह्या डायरेक्शनला असेल, ज्यावेळेस तुमचा एरो ह्या डायरेक्शनला असेल त्यावेळेस ही प्रोसेस कोणती असणार आहे, आयसोबारिक हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस असणार आहे. सेम क्लिअर डायग्राम वरती जर इंडिकेट करायची असेल, ही कोणती लाईन असणार आहे, तुमची कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन असणार आहे, बरोबर आहे. ही जी लाईन असणार आहे ती कोणती असणार आहे, तुमची कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर लाईन असणार आहे. त्यातला वन पॉईंट, इनिशियल पॉईंट म्हणजे ह्या पोझिशनला एंट्रॉपी काय असणार आहे, ह्या ठिकाणी S1 असणार आहे. एंट्रॉपी काय असणार आहे, S1 असणार आहे. आणि टेम्परेचर काय असणार आहे, T1 असणार आहे. टेम्परेचर काय असणार आहे, T1 असणार आहे. आणि ज्यावेळेस हा गॅस कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशरला एक्सपांड होईल, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशरला एक्सपांड कधी होईल, ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही हीट ऍड कराल, ज्या सिस्टीमला ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही हीट ऍड कराल त्याच वेळेस तो काय होणार आहे, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशरला एक्सपांड होणार आहे. हीट ऍड करता ह्याचा अर्थ काय होणार आहे, त्या ठिकाणी टेम्परेचर पण वाढणार आहे तुमचं. हीट ऍडिशन करताय याचा अर्थ काय होतोय, टेम्परेचर पण वाढणार आहे आणि एंट्रॉपी पण वाढणार आहे. कशामुळे टेम्परेचर पण वाढणार आहे आणि एंट्रॉपी पण वाढणार आहे, बिकॉज वी आर नोईंग दॅट dq इज इक्वल टू T इंटू ds. dq इज इक्वल टू T इंटू ds. त्यावेळेस तुम्ही dq म्हणजे काय, चेंज इन हीट आहे. इनिशियल हीट जर Q असेल, त्यानंतर तुम्ही QA जर हीट ऍड करत असाल तर ह्या ठिकाणी काय झाली, हीट ऍडिशन झाली. हीट ऍडिशन झाली म्हणजे काय झालं, ह्या ठिकाणी पॉझिटिव्ह साइन झालं. Q2 मायनस Q1 काय झालं, पॉझिटिव्ह झालं. टेम्परेचर आणि एंट्रॉपी ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही हीट ऍडिशन करताय त्यावेळेस त्या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर जर असेल तर टेम्परेचर पण वाढणार आहे आणि एंट्रॉपी पण वाढणार आहे, कारण हीट ऍड करताय. त्यामुळे ह्या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे, टेम्परेचर पण वाढत असतं कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशरला त्या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे, टेम्परेचर पण वाढणार आहे. त्या ठिकाणी T1 चं T2 होणार आहे आणि एंट्रॉपी पण वाढणार आहे, म्हणजे S1 चं काय होणार आहे, S2 होणार आहे. S1 चं काय होणार आहे, S2 होणार आहे. सो दिस विल बी कॉल्ड ॲज अ कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस. दिस विल बी कॉल्ड ॲज अ कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस. आणि जर तुमचा एरो जर रिव्हर्स असता, जर तुमचा एरो रिव्हर्स डायरेक्शनला असता, रिव्हर्स डायरेक्शनला म्हणजे तुमचा जर एरो ह्या डायरेक्शनला असेल आणि तुमचा इनिशियल पॉईंट ह्या ठिकाणी, फायनल पॉईंट ह्या ठिकाणी असेल, इनिशियल पॉईंट ह्या ठिकाणी, फायनल पॉईंट ह्या ठिकाणी, आणि एरो जर रिव्हर्स डायरेक्शनला असेल तर ती प्रोसेस काय इंडिकेट करणार आहे, कोण सांगेल? ती प्रोसेस काय इंडिकेट करणार आहे? कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस इंडिकेट करणार आहे. कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस इंडिकेट करणार आहे. त्यामुळं ज्या काय सिस्टीम किंवा ज्या काय थर्मोडायनामिक प्रोसेसेस तुम्ही आजपर्यंत शिकलेला आहात, ज्या काय थर्मोडायनामिक प्रोसेसेस तुम्ही आजपर्यंत शिकलेला आहात, त्या थर्मोडायनामिक प्रोसेसेस जर तुम्हाला पीव्ही डायग्राम, टीएस डायग्राम आणि पीएच डायग्राम वरती जर इंडिकेट करायचे असतील तर फक्त आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस असू शकत नाही. फक्त आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस असू शकत नाही. त्या आयसोबारिक प्रोसेस बरोबर काय असतं, ते आयदर हीट ऍडिशन असते, आयदर हीट ऍडिशन असते किंवा आयदर हीट रिजेक्शन असते. म्हणजे तुम्ही पीव्ही डायग्राम, पीएच डायग्राम किंवा टीएस डायग्राम वरती आयसोबारिक हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस किंवा आयसोबारिक हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस रिप्रेझेंट करू शकता विथ द हेल्प ऑफ इनिशियल पॉइंट, फायनल पॉइंट अँड विथ द हेल्प ऑफ एरो ऑल्सो. आयसोकोरिक, त्यावेळेस आयसोकोरिक प्रोसेस असेल त्यावेळेस आयसोकोरिकला पण काय असतं, आयदर हीट ऍडिशन असते किंवा हीट रिजेक्शन असते. आयदर हीट ऍडिशन किंवा हीट रिजेक्शन असतं. म्हणजे आयसोकोरिक हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस असू शकते किंवा आयसोकोरिक हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस असू शकते. म्हणजे ती आयसोकोरिक हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस तुम्ही पीव्ही डायग्राम, पीएच डायग्राम, टीएस डायग्राम वरती ड्रॉ करू शकता किंवा आयसोकोरिक हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस तुम्ही पीव्ही, पीएच आणि टीएस डायग्राम वरती रिप्रेझेंट करू शकता. सिमिलरली ज्यावेळेस तुमच्याकडे आयसोथर्मल प्रोसेस असेल तर त्यावेळेस ती आयसोथर्मल आयदर काय असते, कॉम्प्रेशन प्रोसेस असते, आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन प्रोसेस असते किंवा आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन प्रोसेस असते. आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन किंवा आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन प्रोसेस असते. आता आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन किंवा आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन प्रोसेस कशी होणार आहे? पिस्टन सिलेंडर असेंब्ली आहे आपल्याकडे, त्या ठिकाणी प्रेशर आहे P1 आणि जो काय व्हॉल्यूम आहे गॅसचा तो सपोज आहे P1, व्हॉल्यूम आहे P1 आणि टेम्परेचर जे आहे ते सपोज T1 आहे. आता ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन करताय, आपल्याला नॉर्मली काय माहित असतं, ज्यावेळेस आपण कॉम्प्रेशन करत असतो त्यावेळेस टेम्परेचर काय होत असतं, त्या गॅसचं किंवा त्या सिस्टीमचं टेम्परेचर काय होत असतं, कॉम्प्रेशन करत असताना टेम्परेचर काय होत असतं, वाढत असतं की कमी होत असतं? जर तुम्ही सायकलमध्ये जर पंपच्या साहाय्याने हवा मारत असाल तर हवा मारत असताना जर तुम्ही पंपच्या खालच्या साईडला जर पकडलं तर तुम्हाला काय लागतं, गरम लागतं. कशामुळं? कारण की ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही कॉम्प्रेशन करत असता त्यावेळेस त्या सिस्टीमचं टेम्परेचर वाढत असतं, सिस्टीमचं टेम्परेचर वाढत असतं. ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही एक्सपान्शन करत असता, एक्सपान्शन करत असताना त्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला काय लागतं, थंड झाल्यासारखं किंवा गार झाल्यासारखं वाटत असतं. सो एक्सपान्शनच्या वेळेस काय होत असतं, त्या ठिकाणी टेम्परेचर कमी होत असतं. सो फक्त आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन पॉसिबल आहे का? त्या ठिकाणी टेम्परेचर तर सेम ठेवायचं आहे, तुम्हाला टेम्परेचर तर सेम ठेवायचं आणि तो गॅस कॉम्प्रेस करायचा आहे. पॉसिबल आहे का? कधी पॉसिबल आहे? ज्यावेळेस, कारण की काय होतं आपल्याला काय माहित आहे, कॉम्प्रेशन करत असताना त्या ठिकाणी हीट वाढत असते. ज्यावेळेस जी काय अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट वाढणार आहे ती अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट जर तुम्ही रिजेक्ट करत असाल, अमाऊंट ऑफ हीट जर तुम्ही रिजेक्ट करत असाल तर त्या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे, ती प्रोसेस होणार आहे आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शनची प्रोसेस. आणि त्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शनची प्रोसेस पीव्ही डायग्राम ऍज वेल एज टीएस डायग्राम वरती ड्रॉ करू शकता. त्याच पद्धतीनं आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन होत असताना तुम्हाला काय अनुभव येणार आहे, त्या ठिकाणी कुलिंग झालेला अनुभव येणार आहे. त्यामुळं आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन जर करायचं असेल तर टेम्परेचर जर कॉन्स्टंट ठेवायचं असेल तर तुम्हाला काय करावं लागणार आहे, हीट ऍड करावं लागणार आहे. सो आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शन प्रोसेस असते आणि आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस असते. फक्त आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन किंवा आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन कधीच होणार नाही. आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शन आणि आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन हीट ऍडिशन प्रोसेस असते. सिमिलरली आयसेंथॅल्पिकचं जाऊ द्या, तुम्हाला सांगतो ते आयसेंथॅल्पिक नंतर काय असेल. आयसेंट्रॉपिक म्हणजेच रिव्हर्सिबल ॲडियाबॅटिक. रिव्हर्सिबल ॲडियाबॅटिक मध्ये हीट ऍड पण होणार नाही आणि हीट रिजेक्ट पण होणार नाही. म्हणजे त्या ठिकाणी आयसेंट्रॉपिक काय असू शकतं, आयदर कॉम्प्रेशन असू शकतं, आयसेंट्रॉपिक कॉम्प्रेशन असू शकतं किंवा आयसेंट्रॉपिक एक्सपान्शन असू शकतं. तर आता टाइम झालेला आहे 11:29. बिफोर आवर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर the task which you have to perform, that is nothing but you have to draw the PV and TS diagram. तुम्हाला काय करायचे, PV आणि TS diagram ड्रॉ करायचे. कोणत्या कोणत्या प्रोसेसच्या? So you have to draw the PV and TS diagram for isobaric heat addition, then isobaric heat rejection. 2 प्रोसेसेस झाल्या. नंतर आयसोकोरिक हीट ऍडिशन आणि आयसोकोरिक हीट रिजेक्शन 4 प्रोसेसेस झाल्या. नंतर आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शन, आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शन, आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन हीट ऍडिशन 6 प्रोसेसेस झाल्या. आणि आयसेंट्रॉपिक कॉम्प्रेशन आणि आयसेंट्रॉपिक एक्सपान्शन. नेक्स्ट लेक्चरच्या अगोदर तुम्ही काय करायचे, तुमच्या नोटबुक वरती ह्याच्या काय 8 प्रोसेसेस मी सांगितलेले आहेत तुम्हाला. आयसोबारिक हीट ऍडिशन, आयसोबारिक हीट रिजेक्शन, आयसोकोरिक हीट ऍडिशन, आयसोकोरिक हीट रिजेक्शन, आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट ऍडिशन, आयसोथर्मल कॉम्प्रेशन हीट रिजेक्शन, आयसोथर्मल एक्सपान्शन हीट ऍडिशन आणि आयसेंथॅल्पिक कॉम्प्रेशन आणि आयसेंथॅल्पिक एक्सपान्शन. ह्या 8 प्रोसेसचे तुम्हाला काय करायचे, पीव्ही आणि टीएस डायग्राम ड्रॉ करायचे. आणि त्या पीव्ही आणि टीएस डायग्राम ड्रॉ केल्यानंतर मला माझ्या व्हॉट्सअप वरती पाठवा. जर तुम्हाला ह्या 8 प्रोसेसची जर पीव्ही आणि टीएस डायग्राम ड्रॉ करता आली तर तुम्हाला पहिला आणि दुसरा चॅप्टर 100% 100% समजून जाईल. आर यू गेटिंग? सो आय थिंक आवर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर इज day after tomorrow. So you are getting today as well as tomorrow. So up to tomorrow evening, you have to draw those 8 processes on the PV and TS diagram. So please draw these 8 processes by heart, because while drawing these processes, you will come to know where you are getting the problem. So stick with basic, and by sticking with the basic, you have to draw the diagram. Are you getting? Will it be possible for you, student, to draw these 8 processes on the PV and TS diagram? Yes or no? Will it be possible? Okay. So only one student is giving the consent. Okay. What about remaining student? So this task will be for better understanding of drawing of PV and TS diagram. So once you will understand this concept for each and every cycle, whatever may be the cycle, that may be Otto cycle, diesel cycle, Carnot cycle, that may be the vapor compression or steam power plant, any cycle, you will be able to draw the PV as well as TS diagram by knowing the name of cycle only. Are you getting? So try this. Now I will take the attendance. Okay, give the attendance. Roll number 1.
Present, sir.
2.
Present, sir.
3 absent. 4 absent. Don't miss the lecture, because if you are going to miss first lecture, you will not get anything for the next lecture. Roll number 5. Absent. 6 absent. Okay, 6 present. 7 absent. 8
Present, sir.
9
Present, sir.
10. Roll number 10 absent. 11
Present, sir.
12
Present, sir.
13.
Present,
13
sir.
absent. Okay. 14.
Present, sir.
15.
Yes, sir.
16.
Present, sir.
17. 17. 18.
Yes, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
Roll number 9. Okay. 20.
Present, sir.
21. 21 absent. 22.
Yes, sir.
22 absent. 23.
Yes, sir. 22, sir.
20. Okay. 22 present. 23. 23 absent. Okay. 24.
Yes, sir.
25.
Present, sir.
26.
Present, sir.
27. 27 absent. 28. 28 absent. 29 absent. 30. 30 absent. 31.
Present, sir.
32. 32 absent. 33 absent. 34 absent. 35 absent. 36.
Yes, sir.
37. 37 absent. 38 absent. 39 absent. 40
Present, sir.
Andagale. 41.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
41. 42.
Yes, sir.
43.
Yes, sir.
44.
Yes, sir.
45.
Yes, sir.
46. 46. Mutiwar. Absent. 47.
Yes, sir.
48. Norute. Absent. 49.
Yes, sir.
50. Display. Roll number 50. Here is display. Absent. 51.
Present, sir.
52. 52. Absent. 53.
Yes, sir.
54. Irfan. Absent. 55.
Present, sir.
56. Nagargoje. Absent. 57.
Present, sir.
58. Karas. 58. Absent. 59. Pawar Shailesh. Absent. Roll number 60. Halke. Absent. 61. Roll number 61. Ronge. Absent. 62.
Present,
Sunil.
sir.
63.
Hello. Sir, 58.
Present, sir.
Mic was not working that time.
58. 63. Sheikh.
Present, sir.
64. Shikalgar. Absent. 65. Somdale.
Present, sir.
66. Torat. Absent. 67. Vairakar. Absent. 68. Badekar. Absent. 69. Patil. Absent. 70. Pawan Gowli. 71. Vinayak Gowli.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vinayak, change your roll number. While joining.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
70 also present. Okay. 72. Thomas.
Present, sir.
Absent. Present. Okay. 73. Ravikaran Shinde. Absent. 74.
Yes,
Vardole.
sir.
Okay. Vardole, change your roll number. While joining the meeting, change your roll number. Ashutosh.
Okay, sir.
75. Shendge. Absent. 76. Rajwal Mare. Absent. Okay. Absent number 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 17, 21, 23, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 59, 60, 61, 64, 66, 67, 68, 69, 73, 75, 76. Okay, these are the absent number. Okay, thank you for attending the lecture. We are going to end our lecture. Thank you.